Okay, we locked in a red day today. Negative. Technically, I'm down 800 per funded account because I started the day green and I turned it as red as I possibly could. Well, I guess I could have blown the accounts, right? There's always that, but I didn't because I forced myself to stop trading once I lose $600 on the account. So that being said, we're down about 1,600 bucks across both the funded accounts. And then if you want to count the eval, we're down about 2,200, but I'm not really going to count the eval. I've been trading this thing like shit, honestly. Like 26 trades today. I was up at $1,000 in profit and just stupidity, just like genuine, pure stupidity. Just acting like a monkey. Just see red, sell, see green, buy. Just bad. But let's stick to the funded accounts and let's go through the trades. So I started off the day around 8 a.m. And I saw we were just pushing up very violently. I tried taking a trade earlier that morning, but I stopped myself out of break even because I just did not like to trade at all. So this one was a break even trade, and then this one right here was a beautiful continuation trade off of a high value node retracement, and it tapped off it, and the current value area high tapped off there, and it continued higher. But my mental really wasn't the best on this trade. We can kind of go through it here. So once we hit 1R, I trailed aggressively while pushing my take profits of 25 points. Selling stops hit at 10.5 points. My psychology was struggling a bit on this one, to be honest. I wanted to be greedy, but I wanted to secure profits at the same time. So a bit of indecision as to what I wanted to do. And I think it's something that I need to game plan prior to taking a trade. And if I can't figure it out, then don't take the trade and wait for the next one. But then I was up 200 bucks and I was like, you know, kind of want a little bit more. I like getting my 250 and I had my bread and butter at 930, so why not give it a swing? But I think that another, to kind of loop back into the theme here is I didn't have like a plan for this one, right? And I came into the day like up 200 bucks and I didn't have a plan if I lost. I just did not have a plan if I lost. And realistically, once I lost and I hit break even, I should have just stopped right there. I should have just stopped. I should have just stopped. But yeah, we'll go into that. So the first trade was a point of control break and retest, and I noted that it wasn't a strong enough break. Plus, I had no bias going into the session, so there was no reason to take an aggressive entry like this. And it's the truth. There really was no reason to take an aggressive entry like this, especially when I know better. I know that off the opening trade, if we hit a swing low, then there's a good chance, there's not a good chance, but I need to watch out for prices shoot up dramatically, which could take me out before going down, or I might just want to reverse from there. So when I set the limit order, it was right there, and this was a complete down candle. There was no wick up here. This entire thing was a down candle. So the limit order was here, and then as soon as I set the limit order, we literally just coiled back up, tapped me in, and we just shot right through, right through. So I was down 50 bucks on that trade because I was up 200. So realistically, it would have been the smartest thing for me to do. Well, the smartest thing for me to do would have been just to close the trade, was just to stop trading rather. But one thing I want to note is once that trade got stopped out, it presented a really clean point of control break and retest long opportunity that I hesitated to take and missed. Right there, I should have just taken the L and called it a day. So essentially, what had happened was we had completely blew through my stop loss with no remorse. And this candle ended up closing up here, right? And yeah, actually, let me do this real quick. Let me show you. So if we zoom into here, so once this candle closed up here, it should have been a good indication it was a really good indication to me that we were bullish. And the actual point of control was somewhere around here, I think actually, like right around where it closed. And we shot up, we took out all of this, and I was like, I had my limit order here, and I watched price just coil back down, and it hit I closed out my limit order. I was like, I'm not taking that. I was like, I just took a loss. I'm not taking that. Let me slow down. But I just needed to trust my framework, my setup, my model, whatever you want to call it. I needed to trust my strategy and just take the trade because it literally coiled up. It tapped the point of control picture perfectly, and then we just rocketed up. It was like a complete push right out. And I was like, damn, like I literally just missed that. So once I missed that trade and I am aware that I hesitated on a bread and butter setup for no reason other than I just took a loss, like I should have just called it right there. I need to be more aware of that and call that and call the day when I hesitate that dramatically, because when I'm scalping the way I scalp, if I'm going to hesitate, it's just going to cost me. It's going to cost me more mentally than anything, right? More mentally than anything. So I missed this. The next one was was actually just a really aggressive high volume node scalp, and I got wicked out before we continued higher. And this one was a point of control break and retest, but I tried going against the trend and it just didn't work. It just did not work. I think I should have noted that pretty much like equal highs right there, and we're really, really bullish, and like everything is telling us that we're bullish. So I think taking a point of control break and retest to the downside probably wasn't the best idea. I could make the argument that, oh, we might want to retrace to to lower before, but realistically, it just really wasn't a good trade. So that was that. Yeah, I think the main issue for today was my psychology was just not locked in. I had a really tough time like with the first trade, and I need to be more aware of my emotions when I'm trading, and I need to react properly to how my emotions are while I'm trading, right? Because if I would have reacted properly to my indecision on the first trade, moving my stop loss aggressively, shooting up the take profit, not knowing if, not really following my rules, then I should have just locked out right there. And I didn't lock out there. I had two other opportunities where I should have, where like it was like warning signs or signals like, hey, like you were not on your game today, dude. You gotta shut it down. So that's something that I have to take into account. But good news is that the payout that I requested in this one finally hit my account. I requested it on Thursday from Top Step, and it just hit my account today. So we're a little low on drawdown here. A little low on drawdown for this. So I definitely have to be careful. I think on this account specifically, I think it's just one and dones until I build up a nice buffer to about 2K. So, or close to 2K. I think it's just one and dones. Honestly, just because of how my mental was today, I'll probably just stick to the one and dones for the rest of the week at least. Just get in, get out, just try to make my base hits and build these accounts, build a nice cushion in these accounts. And yeah, that's about it. But a video I did not want to make because it sucks making a video like this, and I guess forcing myself to look at what I did. Especially when I know I could have done a lot better. It's also a lot of growing with this and a lot of learning when when I take the time and I make these videos, and hopefully it helps you guys too. If you're watching this video, you're more than likely a trader, and I'm sure if you haven't gone through this or gone through something similar like this, then you'll probably be going through it in the future sometime soon. So hopefully this helps you. Thanks for watching. If you're here for this long, please like, comment, and subscribe. I will be releasing, I think I said this in the last video, but I will be releasing a video series about, this opening trade, which I'm just kind of coining it now. The opening trade, how I kind of scout the point of control on the opening bell, right? So stick around for that. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.